completing over 1,500 projects in the past 20 years for our global client base. Please read this book more than once. I've tried to keep the tone conversational, but the message is layered and takes some consideration to fully absorb. The stories, the process, the method are all things that, as you gain experience, you'll find you can revisit to find learnings that you missed when you read it the first time. Growth strategy: what it is and why companies fail at it. Harrison sat in front of his computer, looking at but not seeing the monitor. His brain was racing, and he hadn't slept well in over a week. A former engineer, Harrison had been put on a management development rotation. So far, he'd worked in product development, manufacturing, sales, and now was in a product marketing role. Always a producer for his team. This was an entirely new environment for him. He had done some training on marketing, but it was mid-January, and he had been given the charter to lead the development of the strategy for his product line with a briefing due in 8 weeks for review with the business unit leadership. It was overwhelming. Where to begin? He had last year's plan and a template to fill out, but it felt wrong. Formulaic, stale, checking the box. Who cared about market segment share, or average sales price, or all the other tables that he had to fill out? He knew what it meant to design a product and manufacture it, and knew that both departments were stretched thin. He felt the challenge of selling something new as the company had a retiring sales force and a new requirement for a new solution sale. In his gut, he felt that the reality of feet on the street didn't line up with these forms that the company had used for the past decade. His boss told him to just update for this year's plan. But rather than mailing it in, he felt the awesome responsibility of doing a good job. If you work in the corporate world, at some point, you will be or have been Harrison. And you were right to feel this disconnect between what you knew the real challenges of the job to be and the traditional annual planning document you were given. When you mention growth strategy, a few different reactions occur. If you are telling friends what you do, their eyes glaze over. If you are being told you have a new role, you may panic a bit. If you are the one letting people know they are now responsible for developing it, you may be a bit concerned about what you will get back from them. Growth strategy development is the application of strategic thought to the challenge of growth. In its best form, it clearly articulates how you are going to achieve an objective, what you will do, who will do it, when it will occur, and why it is necessary to reach your goal. It reflects the strengths and weaknesses of your organization, the market landscape you will compete in, the adversaries you face, and the resources you have. In the past 30 years, I've been lucky enough to work with the best of the best at Fortune 200 clients in healthcare, defense, financial services, software, hardware, professional services, industrials, pharma, consumer goods, technology, energy, education, and retail. There are several key learnings that emerge when I look back on their growth strategy practices. 1. Everyone has a slightly different approach, although the very best have a structured, teachable, repeatable methodology. 2. If you know that it's all about the team that is executing. 3. There are core market elements universally assessed by the best of the best. 4. New business models have become recognized as disruptive and powerful tools. 5. Where you play geographically matters. 6. Timing is everything. Our process and framework incorporates these concepts in this book. Successful growth strategists are clearly not dreamers. They recognize the challenge of implementation and are able to harness the knowledge and experience in an organization to mitigate risk. In fact, successful growth strategists are risk mitigators, not risk takers. They are pragmatic and know that successful growth